We're glad that you joined us today. I'm going to turn it over to Amanda.
All right. Hi, guys. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about our challenge for the month. We know last month our challenge was to take one of your oils and use it regularly and just see if you noticed anything. And if you have some interesting stories, anything you noticed from your oils, top it in so we can hear about your experiences. I use Hope every day during my quiet time, and I grow to where I craved it. Like, it helped me get in my mindset so much faster having the same oil that I was smelling every day. So I love that challenge. Our challenge for this coming month, all of February, the month we're in, is Endoflex. So Endoflex you can get in Vitality or in the regular bottles. You probably already know this, but just a reminder, they're the exact same oils. So you can use your oils however you want at home. You can breathe them in, put them on your skin, put them in capsules, put a drop in your tongue, however you want to use them. Endoflex is one that's great for the entire endocrine system, male, female, babies, elderly, across the board. It's going to help everyone with their endocrine system. I like to put it over my thyroid regularly. I know people who put it like on their wrist, anywhere where you have thin skin that's going to get into your body faster. I know people who like to diffuse it. So you can use it in any way you want. I'm going to go over a few little facts about the oils in this blend. So first we have spearmint, and spearmint increases the metabolism, which burns fat. So that's exciting for all of us. Then it has sage in it, and sage is great for helping us release negative emotions. So, as it's helping our endocrine system function better, it's going to help our mood through releasing the hormones we need to release, and it naturally helps us deal with emotions better. So, this can be one that can completely change your mood and your attitude when you're using it regularly. Also has geranium in it, which is wonderful for balancing hormones, and it also stimulates the liver and the pancreas. So it also has myrtle, which stabilizes hormones specifically in the thyroid and in the ovaries. So that's a huge benefit for those women who, all of us women who need help sometimes with our hormones and our moods and our thyroids and all the things. And that's a reason why a lot of us put it over our thyroid area every day. Then it also has German chamomile, which has anti inflammatory properties. And it also has qualities in it that protect the liver. The last one in this blend is nutmeg oil. And nutmeg is wonderful for the adrenal glands. So that is going to give us an increase of energy and help us stabilize energy. And also, if you've ever studied the adrenals and how they work and what happens to our adrenals when we're under stress on a regular basis, you will know that we all need some extra adrenal love and support in our lives because we all have stress and our adrenals pay the price for that. So this is one that everyone in Endoflex should be using every single day. But as a team, we're going to be using it every day together. So we can be sharing stories and experiences. And as you notice changes and things that happen, keep them in mind so you can share them next month when we come back here. And I'm going to read through all of these comments in a minute just for myself because I want to hear all of y'all's experiences with last month. So make sure you are using your Endoflex every day. You can use it in every way you want, topically, breathing it in, putting in capsules internally, however you want to use those. Okay, and next up we have Melinda sharing with us some mindset stuff.
Thank you, Amanda. For those of y'all who hopped on, that was just about a little, or hopped on a little late. That's just about a challenge that we're going to do on the upcoming month using that every day. But I am here today to talk to you a little bit about mindset. And I want to talk to you today about the words that you speak and the words that you think, because they have great importance to your life, possibly even more than you imagine. They definitely have more than I thought before I started doing more research about all of this. You will believe, first thing you need to know is that you will believe the words that you think and that you say about yourself more than you will think about what anybody else says. For instance, I'm going to pick on Sherry. If I said, Sherry, your hair looks so great today. And she was like, oh my word, but I didn't wash it and I didn't put it out, and all the things. Like, she totally deleted my comment and she did not believe that her hair looked good because she had already decided that it did not. And so it was her thought and belief that outranked mine, if that makes sense. So that's why it's super important what you're thinking and what you're saying. And if you think about it, we think and say things to ourselves and about ourselves that we would never say to a friend. We would never tell some friends some of the things that we tell ourselves, right? So in order for you to better understand how this works, I am going to teach you a little bit how your brain works kind of off the top. So one thing you need to know about your brain is that its main function is to make sure that you are safe, that you are healthy, and that you're feeling good, or that you are okay. Okay, so every millisecond, it is asking itself, am I breathing? Is my heart beating? Am I okay? Am I breathing? Is my heart beating? Am I okay? And like, I can't even say it fast enough because it does it like this constantly. That is the most important thing. And then after it knows you're okay, it goes out into other things, but it does that first. So it works to maintain harmony and peace because we like to be happy. So let's use the example of, let's say it asks, am I breathing? Yes. Is my heart beating? Yes. Am I okay? I don't know. You seem to be worried or anxious about something. I'm not really, let's fix it. Let's make it better. What can we do so that we can feel okay again? Okay. And then sometimes when we are not feeling well, it may say, am I breathing? Yes, but kind of too shallow and too fast. Is my heart beating? Yes, but too fast. Something's not right. Am I okay? I don't think so. What do we have to do to fix all of this, to make our heart rate go back down and our breathing become normal? All of those things are very important. And it happens in our subconscious mind. Thankfully, we don't have to think about that. I'm really glad I don't have to think about, is my heart beating? Because goodness knows, I get busy enough sometimes I might forget it. But anyway, so our subconscious mind does that for us all of the time. And it's not something that we think about. Most people aren't aware of the impact their thoughts and their words have, not only on their mental and emotional health, but their physical health, their spiritual health, all of those things. Your words affect every part of you. Okay, so we're going to do a little experiment here as a test. Okay, so close your eyes. You're all on mute. No one can hear you. Close your eyes and say these things out loud. I'm going to try to remember what she says today. I wish I had a better memory. I hope I can put to use what I hear today. If only I could do all these things. All right, now open your eyes. Does that make you feel excited and good about yourself? Are you going to remember everything I say? There's a lot of questions in those things, right? Like you're like, oh, but how many times do we think those type of things? So the word wish, I wish I could remember everything she says today. Well, wish doesn't really get you anywhere. Your subconscious mind doesn't do that. It's kind of going, yeah, well, you keep wishing that hadn't worked out for you before. Hope it works out this time. Not going to work out, right? The word hope, like we have hope in a lot of things, and that's what we're supposed to do. But when you say, I hope I can do that, or I hope I can make it if somebody invites you somewhere, right? Your brain goes, yeah, we'll keep hoping because we're not probably going to do that either. So some of these words mean very important things. So now I want you to close your eyes one more time because we're going to negate that we just did because we want you to remember this. I want you to say this out loud. I will remember this. I have a phenomenal memory. And when I see and hear and read things, they stick. I'm remembering all of this. And open your eyes. Does that feel better? Right? So now we're ready to do it, okay? So what happens is when we say or believe, when we believe one thing, and then you say something else and it doesn't match, then your brain goes, that's not right. I don't understand. Do we believe this or do we believe this? What is it that we want to do? So what we're going to do, and so what happens is that creates what they call cognitive dissonance. Okay, and I'm going to read this because I wrote out the definition. It's the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as they relate to behavioral decisions and attitude changes. Okay, so it just means that the things we're saying, thinking, and doing are not matching up, and it kind of stresses out your brain. Your brain's going to try to figure that out, and it can't do both. it has to pick one. So it needs to, so we want it to pick the things we want it to pick, right? So what we're going to do is change the words we say. And if we continue to say these things, then our subconscious mind will be like, oh, she keeps saying that. I guess that's what we're supposed to work towards, right? Even though we've done this in the past, apparently we're supposed to do this because she keeps saying it. And if you can say it out loud, it's even better, because you believe what you think, but you believe even more intentionally what actually comes out your mouth, right? Okay, so for example, one of the things I'm about to use this on is my weight management that I'm working on, right? So a lot of us are working on that. And I can look in the mirror and go, oh my word, I'm so fat. This makes me look terrible. And look at that bulge. And here's this. And I love chocolate and all the things. I can say all the things, right? And then my brain goes, oh, well, we're fat and we have bulges and we like chocolate. We might as well go get some, because this is what we're working towards, right? Because I've said all of these things out loud or in my head. So instead, I can say, I have a great metabolism that keeps me at my ideal weight. And I love and I'm excited about making healthy food choices, all of those things, right? So I'm not really at my ideal weight, and so my brain's going to go, but you're not. But if I keep saying it, and it's not just speak it and, ooh, all happy things happen. We're going to get there in a minute on why it works. There is a biological reason as to why this makes sense. Okay, so what we need to do is learn to reprogram your subconscious in order to kind of get it working towards, that's very right, Chrissy. You can't heal a body that you hate. Is that a book? Is that what you're telling us? We'll get there in a minute. You can tell us what it is over there, but it's true. But we're going to try to reprogram our mind. Okay. So your subconscious mind is an amazing tool. Your mind doesn't control you and your choices and your decisions. You control your mind, but then it does what you tell it to do. And so, and we always say, oh, well, I can't help it. I've always done this, or I do this, or that kind of thing. Nope. You're telling your brain what to do all of the time. So the problem is the subconscious mind is amazing, but it's kind of like the instructions are written in German, like we don't really know what to do with it or how to use it, right? It's supposed to work for us, but we don't really understand it. So like I said, your mind's job is to tell you what you're supposed to do. So you need to give it and this is important, specific and detailed words, detailed language, okay? So you can't go, I want to lose weight. Okay, well, that's great. You said I want, right? So there's already a problem. But you can say, I'm going to lose 5 pounds by whatever. And I am so excited to eat well and exercise so that I will have lost 5 pounds by whatever. You see how it gets even better the more descriptive you put in there and the more excitement. The more exciting words you put in there, then the more your brain gets excited about it. If you think about it, when we get excited about something, we're going to make it happen. If somebody tells you, if you can do X, Y, and Z, you can go to the beach, by golly, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, right? And I'm going to tell myself I'm doing X, Y, and Z. If somebody tells me you have to do X, Y, and Z to go to work, I might not do that as much because it's not as exciting. We want our brain to get excited about what it is we're working on. So, excuse me, it also has to be relevant, kind of up to date, has to be happening now, and I'll tell you why. But before I give you into a little bit about how the mind works and why you want to do this, my challenge is that you start listening to yourself, listening to the thoughts in your head about yourself, listening to the words that come out of your mind about yourself, because they're carrying your future. And so when you hear yourself say something or think something, then you need to ask yourself, is that what I really want? Because if not, then we need to change our words, right? And our mindset. So the mind, one thing to note is that the mind can only work in present tense. Okay. It doesn't understand future. It doesn't understand next year, tomorrow, next week, all of those things. Next week, I'm going to be further along in my business. Next month, I'm going to pay off my debt. Next, whatever. That doesn't mean anything. Your brain is right here, right now, working in the present. So when you do make these statements and thoughts about yourself, change them into right now. or currently. Right now, I'm losing weight. Right now, I'm working towards my financial goals. Today, I'm going to whatever, so that you're in the present tense. Because then your brain goes, oh, I need to do that now. We need to get on this now. We don't need to wait because I don't know what that other thing is, but she said right now. So we have to make it happen right now. Okay. The other thing is that your mind works in very descriptive words because it likes to create pictures. Okay. Your subconscious brain likes to create pictures. This is why using descriptive words are important. And it is very important to, really make it something that you want and pick those words that are important to you so that you're really in the now. And one thing to remember is that your mind does not recognize the words no, don't, do not, never, try. All of those words your subconscious brain kind of doesn't get. Who in here has told a toddler, don't touch that vase? And then the toddler touched the vase, right? Because they didn't hear don't touch the vase. They heard touch the vase. The don't disappeared because their brain didn't hear that, right? So you're better off to say, put your hands in your pockets or take a step back. These are things that are physically possible. And it's not telling them not to do something. You're telling them what you want them to do. Does that make sense? So you need to tell your brain what you want it to do, not what you don't want it to do. Who has made a New Year's resolution and said, I'm not going to eat cake anymore, don't like cake anymore, never eating cake again, all the things. And your brain heard cake, eat cake, because it took out all the not, nevers, don'ts, right? And so how long does that last before you go and get a piece of cake? Okay, so don't keep saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I don't do this, all the things. And now it needs to be current, present, and it needs to be flipped to the positive, okay? The other thing to remember about your brain is that you really, and we kind of said this, but you want it to be exciting, dramatic, powerful words, super descriptive, because it's making those pictures. And one of the most important things that your brain does is creates those pictures, because then that is what it wants to work towards. So if you said, I'm just going to sit here and relax, I feel relaxed. I'm very happy to be relaxed. Or you can say, I am sitting here just like I'm on the edge of the beach with my toes in the sand, and I can hear the waves rolling up, and you can get all this descriptive words for whatever your happy place is, minus the beach. And you will get much more relaxed than if you just try to tell yourself, I'm relaxed, oh my word, I'm relaxed. You can stress yourself out trying to talk yourself into something that just isn't going to be able to happen because you're not using the right words. Really successful people make really good, powerful pictures in their mind. So for an example, you might say, oh, I am not going to have enough energy today. I'm going to be so tired. I didn't get enough sleep because my dog barked all night and all of the things. And then you might have someone else that says, I'm going to have plenty of energy today because no matter how much sleep I got, it's enough. And I feel great because I'm eating well, taking care of myself, and I'm going to make it through the days, no problem. Okay. Same situation. You didn't get enough sleep. You pick how you want your day to go. So the person who says they're tired, guess what? They're going to be tired. And if the person who says they have energy and they're going to get all the things done, chances are they're making it through their day a whole lot better off. One thing else, sorry, hang on. I'm trying to flip through the parts that I don't need to tell you. So that we can cut it a little bit shorter, but I want you to concentrate on your words. Make sure it is what you want them. It is what you want your brain to create for yourself, right? For example, one of the examples I give is you have a child that you take to school every day and you let them out of the car. And before they make it in the school door, they turn around and come back to the car because they have forgotten something every day. One day it's a lunchbox, the next day it's the backpack, and one day it's now they have to remember math, all of the things. So every time your child comes back to the car, you could say, what did you forget this time? Oh my word, your brain is like a sieve. It just seeks out. You're thinking all of this to yourself, right? But you're saying, what'd you forget? Oh, forgot it again. Here you go. All of the things. Or every time they come back to the car, you can say, what did you remember? You have such a great memory. You didn't even make it in the door before you remembered, and you came back and got it. Good job. So you are telling them you have a good memory. And so this is not really just for ourselves. This is for the words we speak to others as well. You can build them up or you can tear them down. So in that case, the child who was told, what'd you forget? What'd you forget? They're hearing, I forget everything. Oh my word, every day I forget something. I can't do anything right. To the person or to the child who you told, what'd you remember? You have a great memory. Every time you remember and come back and get that. Then they're going to say, I have a great memory. This is awesome. And before you know it, they're not forgetting anything anymore because they believe they have a great memory. Their subconscious works into improving that memory, and then they're able to move forward. So the words that we say to others are very important. And yes, Carissa, cycles can be broken. And Carissa can vouch for me that I'm getting much better in this area. Carissa was on this venture with me when I first learned more about this and started with this. And so she was my accountability partner and friend that would go, do you really want to say that right now? Did you hear what you just said? And I appreciate that because it got me further down the road. So if you have somebody that you can ask, you know what, I'm really working on this. If you hear me say something negative about myself, or I sound negative about my day or whatever, can you just tell me you might want to think about that again? You don't have to be all up in my face about it. Just say, would you like to think about that again or a different way? So instead of saying, I am going to lose weight, or I'm going to try not to be fat, or I'm not going to eat this, or all of the things that I have said to myself in the past because of my weight, then now I'm going to say, I have a phenomenal, extraordinary, super efficient, fantastic metabolic rate. And my body burns off whatever I eat. I eat well, but if I eat something that's not so well, that's okay because my metabolism is so awesome, it's going to burn it off. That sounds better than I'm fat, right? So if I get excited and I have all those descriptive words in there, then my brain is going to try to work towards that. So be sure that what you say is important. One word can make a huge difference. Okay, flipping one word of what you're thinking can make a huge difference. So every thought that you think and every word that you subconscious brain has to work to make happen. You are creating blueprints with every thought you think and every word you say. So what do you want your blueprint to look like? What do you want the meaning going forward to be? Okay, so one thing that I say is pay attention to what you're saying. The other thing is, if you're taking notes, write this down. Get yourself a little notepad or a journal and make some positive affirmations. What do you want to happen? You say, I am this. I am smart and confident, and I am going to remember the things that I read in the books that I'm reading, because sometimes I struggle a little. Okay, get all those exciting descriptors, but make your positive affirmations, the things you want to work on, and then read them every day. If you can, a couple of times a day. The more you read them, the more they stick, right? Because then that is going to slowly flip the script in your brain so that when your brain starts to think the one thing, the old thing, it's going to go, oh no, but we say this now. So we need to, that's not true. We need to do this. So you're giving your brain something to work off of. And then on your to-do list, this was something I learned from one other person. And this is the last thing, but when you're making your to-do list, how many people, raise your hand if you're super excited to read your to-do list and get it all done? Carissa is, because she's good at it. And I love to-do lists and I love to check them off, but I read them and go, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do the laundry. I'm gonna go exercise. I'm gonna go whatever it is, right? So I listened to a lady, her name is Lisa Nichols, and she has a YouTube channel, and she has really good, encouraging things. But she says to flip the script on your to-do list so it's more exciting to do. So instead of getting up and getting your kids ready and off to school, she would write things like prepare, her son's name is Jelani, preparing Jelani for his future. And instead of going to work out, she wrote snatching my sexy back. And instead of, meal prep, she wrote down something like getting the fuel ready for my body or something like that. But you don't have to say exercise, go to work, do the things, all the things that your brain have already learned to go roll your eyes at, right? So change the words, flip the script at what you're looking at that you have to do every day. It will make you more excited to check off the list and get it done. So it's all kind of a mind trick. You have to kind of play with your brain a little bit, right? So say what you want to be true every day with the confidence and really descriptive, exciting words, and your brain will work to try to make it come true. So that's my thoughts for today. If anybody has questions, otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Carissa for a minute. I did not read those comments as we go. I'll read them while Carissa's talking.
Our brains are so cool. Way cooler than we give them credit for. Okay, so Dr. Will Cole is a functional medicine doctor, and I found him through like some PT movement people, but he is a phenomenal person to follow on Instagram. He posts a lot about mindset, and he pretty much closes everything out with you can't heal a body that you hate. You have to love yourself and be giving and loving towards yourself if you want things to work. I mean, it's just, and that's true. That's just true stuff. So give him a follow. He is a really, really cool guy. Lots of well-rounded information going on there. But okay, so I'm going to kind of wrap everything up and remind you guys that this is what we do the first Sunday of every single month. We get together and we chat about some mindset things. We chat about, the promos for the month. We talk about our challenge for the forward month, and then, just kind of refresh ourselves over what we've been doing. I posted in the chat that I used gratitude oil every single day this last month, January. It's bled into February because now I'm kind of like Amanda. I can't do a day without my gratitude oil. It's like it's a part of my day. I have to do it. So keep those things up. I'm excited about Endoflex. That's something that I've been using for a while, but it's always nice to have a challenge. My red self is like, ooh, awesome, a challenge, a thing to mark off of my list. I committed to this, and so I'm going to do it. So I'm excited about that too. 2 weeks from today, on the 21st at 2:00, we are going to have a oily chat. And so we're going to kind of get together. We're going to go over basic life hack type things, talking about, the starter kit, Ningxia, those basic oily life tools that we all have kind of grown to love and depend on. It's a perfect opportunity to invite friends or family members, coworkers, whoever that aren't super familiar with Young Living and kind of what we offer. If they're not plugged into our group, it's a great time to kind of see what we're about and figure out, oh, okay, these people have some information for me. It's easy for me to plug in and learn bits of pieces of information kind of as I go. So you don't have to know everything all at once. We all started off as a beginner. We all picked, that first oil up and started a journey somewhere. Not everybody is, doing all the things 100% of the time from the very beginning. We all, have to get started. So if you have new members, it's a perfect, community moment to plug them in. If you have people that haven't signed up yet, awesome time to introduce them to that as well. I think that's kind of my job, is just to remind you that we have other things going on. Plug yourself into our Facebook community group. That's 7 Oily Days Essentials. If you are on Instagram, shameless plug, I run or help run with a group of ladies our Instagram page. So 7 Oily Days on Instagram. We're always sharing tons of fun tips, tricks, how we use oils with our kids, with our pets, with our husbands. It's February, all the things. So yes, 7 Oily Days. So we've got a great community, a lot of different ways to plug in. And the best way to do it is to keep coming back. Every 2 weeks, we're going to be here hanging out and learning more. And every time we have more people coming. So keep at it. So if anybody has any questions or wants to chat about what we've talked about today, have any testimonies for what you've worked on this last month, I think we'll probably get to that.
Sounds good. Well, we're so glad that you guys joined us today, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks for our next Oily Chat.